I'm Allie Brown, and I am the person behind Audible's TikTok. You may have seen me here, or here. TikTok is a great platform for indie creators because it kind of levels the playing field. I'm so excited to talk to the ACX creators about how to use TikTok to market your audiobooks. This is ACX University. People like lo-fi content. Publishers are trying to create the same content you are and are trying to get on the For You page just like you are. Book Talk is simply the community of people on TikTok where book lovers and audiobook lovers come to talk about books and audiobooks. When I started Audible's TikTok, I developed 4 content buckets to make sure that we were creating content that was diverse, but also I was getting really overwhelmed myself just trying to think, okay, well, what am I going to create today? What am I going to create tomorrow? And having those 4 buckets kind of keeps you regimented. I want to share with you some authors that are killing it on TikTok and the types of videos that they create. The first bucket is author life. Audiences love a behind-the-scenes look at what your life is like because most of them are not writers themselves. So 1, it's really interesting to see what it's like to be an author, but 2, especially when someone's invested in you, they're gonna care what you're doing, even if it might seem mundane to you. One author that does this really well is Kennedy Ryan. This video worked because it's showing a really emotional, vulnerable moment between Kennedy and this author that she loves. It's also at a cultural event that's relevant. And it's interesting to a viewer because they might not know this author and they love Kennedy and she loves this author, so they're gonna wanna check out her work, but they're also getting to see a beautiful moment with someone that they love. And here's another great Abby Jimenez example.
I'm an author currently on book tour, and I'm gonna tell you the things that I always take with me that just make sense. The first thing that I always have in my bag is my micro stitch.
Right off the bat, she hooks you with telling you what the video is going to be about. She's also doing it selfie style in kind of a lo-fi way and talking directly to you like she's your friend. Her talking about the book tour in this way of sharing what products she brings is also marketing her book tour without saying buy a ticket. A lot of the comments were, oh, I missed you here, or I can't wait to see you in this city. So it helps also drum up buzz. Next up, I'm going to talk about advice. Advice is a prominent content pillar within TikTok, especially with authors. Often people that love to read and listen also are very interested in the process or might want to become an author themselves. So it's valuable, but it also makes people feel like they can relate to you and makes them feel like they know you, which then makes them even more loyal readers and listeners. And don't forget that you are the expert and people want to hear from you. Oftentimes you might not think something seems that interesting, but it will be to Book Talk. I find when I'm scrolling my For You page, I'm most drawn to videos that are giving me some sort of tangible takeaway into a world that I might not know as much about. I'm going to look at an example from Leanne Slade.
Let's talk about how I became published with absolutely no writing experience. I'm Leanne Slade, and if you're new here, I wrote this book and this book.
This video is really great because she starts it off again with a really strong hook telling you what the video is going to be about. She's also pulling another native lever by replying to a comment in a previous video she created of someone just, asking how she got started. She definitely grabs your attention also by shifting the camera quickly to her face. And that's always good to make sure, if you can, to have a face within the first 2 to 3 seconds of your video. The next type of video is TikTok trends. A trending sound is a viral audio clip. A trending sound is not just music. It could be someone's rant, a clip from a TV show, or an audiobook excerpt. There's not always a rhyme or reason as to why something becomes a trending sound. So I would never advise someone to have their strategy be around creating a trending sound. Going viral is not the point. It's building a community and it's creating a strategy that's sustainable for you. Let's look at this example.
I know the influence, I know the impact, and I know the vibes. And the girlies love the vibes, and that's just what it's about.
In that video, Kennedy Ryan used a trending audio and made it work for promoting her books. When Audible got to own its first trending sound on TikTok, it was a very bright day for me. Unfortunately, it was a torture scene between Andrew Garfield and Andrew Scott, but that's what the Book Talk girlies liked.
You're secure in the chair. You are safe.
No, please, please.
I made a TikTok speaking to this from the Audible perspective, and we'll take a look.
Sorry.
You're secure in the chair. You are safe.
No! Please. Please. What is this? What is this on my head?
Trends are not a shortcut to building a presence on TikTok. It should be part of your strategy, but not your whole strategy. And try to make the trends make sense for your niche. Also, if trends don't feel right for you, do what feels authentic. You don't have to be dancing on TikTok or lip syncing to have a presence. Next up, promotion. Promotion on TikTok can sound daunting, but there's a lot of ways to make it fun that don't feel like traditional marketing. These creative ways kind of show, don't tell, and make someone intrigued by your book or your audiobook as opposed to just telling them to buy it. Obviously, at Audible, we want to promote the audio. I think a really cool way could be, if you've never heard the final audio, recording yourself hearing it for the first time, which again gives people that behind-the-scenes look. A title I really loved figuring out how to promote myself on our TikTok this year was Britney Spears' memoir. In this video, it looked like I was in a meeting at work, but then the camera just zoomed in on me and I put my hair behind my ear and you could see I had a little earbud in and I was really listening to Britney Spears' memoir during my meeting. So in this video, Abby's sharing about a book that's about to be coming out, but then is answering a frequently asked question she gets.
So I've got a new book coming out in little over a week. It's called Just for the Summer. And I'm getting this question a lot if you need to read any of the other books in the series.
So she's not only promoting her book and audiobook that are about to come out, but she's showing you her whole collection of work. And this is another important thing to remember is a lot of times people seeing your TikTok, it might be the first time they ever see you. So don't be afraid to reintroduce yourself.
I'm Leanne Slade, and if you're new here, I wrote this book and this book.
If you're not aware, not only am I author Abby Jimenez, New York Times bestselling author.
Another tip if you're stumped on what type of content to create, go to your comments section and see what people are wanting from you, or go to other videos in the Book Talk community and see what people are talking about. It's really fun and feels very personal when authors respond to comments. I think people always come across the most authentic when they're talking to you like you're a friend or a family member rather than being really overly promotional and markety. I grew Audible's TikTok with a lot of time and a lot of hard work. It doesn't happen overnight, and it should really just at the end of the day be about you and what feels authentic to you. If you have any questions about Book Talk, let us know in the comments.